All right. So we're going to do some unit conversions or measurement conversions. Um, so let's see here. Let's start with this first warm up. Sixth grade students at West Middle School are placed in teams to build race cars in science class. The measurement and distance that the race travels from the starting point. So it says first determine the ratio of inches to feet, feet to yards, and yards to feet. Okay, so hopefully, do you guys have these? Okay, your student planners. If you go to page 125, that would help us set up the ratios. Or maybe you already know. Let's do inches to feet. So inches to feet. So how many inches are in 1 foot?
12.
So 12 to 1. Let's do feet to yards. What would that ratio be? Yes.
3 to 1.
3 to 1. 3 feet to 1 yard. So maybe you already know a lot of these. It's good to know most of these, actually. All right. Now we're going to do yards to feet. And we already have those numbers, but we want the ratio to be yards in the numerator, feet in the denominator. So that would be, instead of 3 to 1, it would be, yes.
0.33 to 1.
Oh, well,
It keeps going on.
yeah. Let's just do it. We don't want it as a unit rate at this point. It's going to be easier for us, depending on the situation we're going to have, as 1 to 3. But you're absolutely right. 0.31 to 1 if we wanted that as a unit rate. 0.33 rather. Okay, part B. If a team's race travels 14 feet, then how many inches did they travel? So we want to go from feet to inches. Okay. Okay. 168. So we're saying 14 feet is 168 inches. Okay. And we would have used maybe this one, right? And what was the process that we did? If we used our conversion inches to feet.
14 times 12.
Yeah. Okay. So how could the students use the ratio table to convert 72 inches to feet? Why 12?
Because that's how many percent.
Okay. So one way, we're not going to do it too much, but we're going to practice it, is build a table. So you would build a table until you reach, write this down, 72 inches. All right. So let's review. We're going to review measurement conversions. So, as I said before, if you have certain notebooks, our student planner on page 125, and certain reference books, even the internet, and I think I even put one in your toolbox for the class. We'll look at that in a little bit. Has conversions. So let's see. It says measurement conversions. The measurement can be converted to represent on equal amounts with a different measurement of unit. So that's what conversions are. Inches to feet, grams to kilograms, ounces to pounds. And then we're also going to get into some metric stuff. Tomorrow we'll definitely look at both. What we call British standard units, the stuff we use, pounds, yards, inches, feet. Yeah, also called imperial. And metric units, which pretty much the rest of the world uses. Did you know that? You guys know that, right? Pretty much everyone else uses the metric system. I believe the United States and some, yeah, I don't know, Moldova. Yeah, I know of a few countries way out in the Pacific Ocean, small island nations that still use the imperial units, British standard. Um, but there's few of us. One of the ways, if you travel, that they know you're an American, if they tell you measurements in meters, kilograms, etc., centimeters, and you have no clue. Like, does anyone know here about how long is 1 meter? It's about 3 feet. A little bit longer. Yeah. Little bit. It's usually your average person's arm span. I'm a little shorter, so it's a little longer than my arm span. Yes.
Is that a yard 3 feet?
Uh-huh.
So how is the difference of a meter and a yard?
A meter in a yard?
A meter is bigger than a yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, about bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But a bit less than a yard.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more than 3 feet, a yard, if you will. Yeah. Like a kilometer. A lot of people don't know how long. Okay, let's finish this up. Represent the conversion with a proportion. We could also use a unit rate, which we'll be using, or a ratio table. Have you guys ever used a ratio table to convert?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that everybody's favorite?
No, I hate it.
We'll do a couple just so we get some practice. For memory's sake. Okay. So let's use it right now. Hey, welcome back. All right, guys. So reevaluated, we're going to do number 2. The distance between two cities is 4 kilometers. How many meters apart are the two cities? So let's set up, we have 4 kilometers. And we want to know 4 kilometers is how many meters. So we're going to say X meters. But we need a conversion. So is there a conversion we have for meters and kilometers? 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And this is why the metric system is better. Okay. So I'm going to set up an equivalent ratio where it says 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So this is going to be my conversion. Let's do a cross product. Okay. So would you please set up a ratio, a proportion rather, with this. So we're going to multiply x with 1 which would be there. Then we're going to multiply 4 with 1,000. And this would be 4,000. Okay, so that worked pretty well. All right. Let's try number 4. A hot chocolate recipe calls for 2.5 gallons of milk, and we want to know how many quarts of milk are needed for the recipe. Okay, so we have 2.5 gallons, and well, we don't know the number of quarts, so let's use X, right? X gallons. And we want to do a conversion.
Wait, isn't it X quarts?
Oh, yeah. Gallons to gallons. That's
Yeah.
okay. Quarts. So we need a conversion for gallons and quarts. Yes.
It's 4 quarts per gallon, right?
Okay. So gallons. I want to make these equivalent, so I'm going to put gallons in the numerator, quarts in the denominator. So 1 gallon is 4 quarts. And if we multiply, we multiply X with gallons. I'm sorry, X with 1. And 4 times 2.5. Okay. So it's going to be 10 quarts. All right. That's all good and well, but the method we're going to really focus on is what's on the next side. They call this conversions with unit rates. A more appropriate name is called dimensional analysis, especially since we're going to start off with easier ones today, where we just do one dimension. So would you please write down dimensional analysis? And this is a better method, especially if you have to do, for example, say you have miles per hour. And sometimes you'll have to convert miles per hour to something like feet per second, or we have to do like 2 dimensions have to be converted. The numerator dimension and the denominator dimension. Okay. So the process is it represents a conversion of a unit rate. Then cancel the units and multiply. And I like it because as you're working it out, you can see if you're going to get the right answer, provided you have a calculator handy and whatnot. So let's try to do a few conversions this way. How many cups are in 8 quarts? So let's start with that fact. We have 8 quarts. I like to do over 1 if it's just one dimension. And then we have to find a conversion that involves quarts and cups. So let's see if we can find one. Let's see. We're looking for quarts and cups.
It's 4 cups per quart.
4 cups per quart. We don't see it here, but now we have to make a decision. We want to cancel quarts. So do we want quarts in the numerator or denominator?
Denominator.
Denominator. And cups would be here. All right. And we said it's 4 cups per quart. And what's going to happen as we multiply through, quarts is in the numerator, and then quarts is in the denominator. Those will cancel. And then we just do the multiplication. 8 times 4, and that would be cups. All right, so does that look familiar maybe from last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like you to try the next one with your table partner. How many centimeters are in 12 meters? So we start with 12 meters. And you have to look for a conversion between centimeters and meters. Which one might work? 100 centimeters. Okay. So let's try that. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So where will it go?
On top.
What goes on top? All right. So let's cancel. And we end up with 1,200 centimeters. Okay. 96 ounces. Let's convert that. And we want to convert that to pounds. So we need to find a conversion there. So I believe pounds is more than ounces. So 1 pound is how many ounces? 16 ounces. Which one do we want on top? Okay. And so 1 pound is 16 ounces. Okay. And when we multiply, yeah, this one is going to be, it's going to be dividing actually, isn't it? Because we get 96 pounds over 16. And 96 divided by 16 is, okay. All right. So I'm going to leave the last one for you and your table partner. How many yards are in 126 feet? Let's find the correct conversion. We already talked about that one, right? 1 yard has how many feet?
3.
3. And since we want to end up with yards, those are in the numerator, and feet are in the denominator because we want to cancel those. What do we end up with?
42.
42 yardas. All right. We're going to stop there. This is the main thing we wanted to focus on, dimensional analysis. So if you need help with the conversions, you don't have them all memorized, or maybe you don't have your uh, planner here, I do have something in Schoology that will help you. I'll show you right now.